just glanced at the girl's black shorts. After 3 years of death, he came back to life. Just because of global changes, the boy unfortunately became a piece of land. Not only are they stuck in place, they can't move. Even the feeling of being human is slowly degenerating. As time goes by, his consciousness gradually dissipated, but a graceful figure passed by. The moment I saw the girl's black shorts, Li Jitsi stood up. He had a wonderful feeling. I found the motivation to live. 3 days ago, the sun turned eerily black. Under the illumination of dim light, human beings have alienated. Flesh turns into grass. Steel spill bone. Become a mindless dark side monster. Although Li Chengying is conscious, but it was transformed into a piece of land. At first he was very unwilling that everyone was alienated. At least keep some human form for me. Turned into a piece of land, can't I go anywhere? With mood swings, the ground suddenly rises. Let the steel monsters and tree vines on the side. Strange to have a close encounter. The two monsters soon scuffled together. Not at all. Notice that the brave are the ground beneath their feet. Li Chengying understood. No one is aware of his existence. Emotions and perceptions are also slowly degenerating. It seems that I have really become a piece of land. What is the difference between this alienation and death? So he chose to lie down and bid farewell to the world. But there was the sound of rapid footsteps. A running girl emerged from the woods. After a glimpse, Li Chengyun is so excited, I still feel it. I'm still human. And the girl tripped over the raised ground. Fell to the ground with a snap. Strange, it was a flat ground just now. The girl is crying and rubbing her thighs. Don't wait for him to get up. Two monsters surrounded him. The girl closed her eyes in fear. But with Li Chengying's casual finger, a big hole appeared in the ground out of thin air. What are you monsters yelling at me? With my consent? Li Chengying interlocked his fingers. The ground closes, devouring the bodies of two monsters, and they started to struggle violently. It even shattered Li Chengying's body. But he is a piece of land. I feel no pain. Is waving casually. The ground rolled up like a wave. Get the girl to safety. He protected him with the dirt. The girl who saw this was surprised. The earth is protecting me. The recognition of girls is undoubtedly the best medical beauty for men. Li Chengzi is on full fire. Unleashed killing intent. Immediately attracted the attack of two monsters. But he doesn't dodge. Instead, he chose to meet with his body. Sure enough, it's a low-level monster without reason. You know nothing of the heaviness of the earth. Wave your hand lightly. The bodies of the monsters were suddenly torn apart, eventually swallowed by the abyss on the ground. As land, burying you is my duty. After talking to himself, Li Chengying's eyes turned to the girl. After being rescued, he should leave. After all, no one is aware of their existence. I really want to watch it again. Remember that feeling of being born a human being? While he was intoxicated by his fantasies, a girl's voice came from behind. Did you save me? The other party not only discovered Li Chengying, she even reached out and touched his body. Li Chengying is surprised that you can see me. You can't see it, but I can feel you right here. There is a heavy sense of reassurance. This made Li Chengying very excited. Grabbed the girl's hand and introduced himself. I also solemnly asked the other party to stay. I finally met a reason to live. I don't want to give up so easily. Girl cheeks reddish. He felt Li Chengying's kindness. It means that there are too many people around. I am dizzy and the summary is that I raise you. So much better now. The girl told Li Chengying that her name was Luluo, willing to follow him. Let's go now. Find you a safe haven. The two are about to leave. Lulo found that something was wrong. He just felt Li Chengying's hand shrink, as if something had sucked him away. Nutrients in the body. Every few steps, Li Chengying felt his body being hollowed out. Facing Luluo's concern, be strong to show that you can still hold on. He feels that the nutrient sucker is ahead. Hearing this, Luluo had a strange idea. Bah! His hand was stuffed into Li Chengying's mouth. I have to say that girls' hands are a good thing. Li Chengying immediately felt that his body was full of strength. Then I was even more surprised to find myself recovering. It turns out that students at the agricultural university near Luowo. What I just fed Li Chengying was a lot of fertilizer. It became a piece of land. Now I also know a beautiful girl who can farm. Li Chengying. I feel like the other person is the one for me. But the ambiguous atmosphere didn't last for 2 seconds. He felt his body being hollowed out again. Fortunately, the two soon discovered the mastermind behind the scenes. A purple liquefied plant. Li Chengying wanted to secretly twist the root tendons in the soil. Plants are on alert. The moment he launched his attack, pulled out all the tendons and bounced off the ground. Looking at the opponent full of followers, Li Chengying is a little nervous. This guy looks so scary. Luluo also recognized the other party as a legume. Those with Liu Jun. It helps him absorb nutrients from the atmosphere. The voice just fell. The root of the plant boils. He came from the ground. I dug up the two monsters that had just been killed. As a purple energy was absorbed into the body, the little buds on the top of the head split open. Shows an evil face. He has evolved into the dark side of a monster and attacked Lulo on the side. Li Chengying hurried forward. The body was easily penetrated. The strength of this plant monster, much stronger than the previous two. He could only let Luluo run first. Leave yourself behind. Looking at the struggling Li Chengying, Lulu did not choose to leave. The moment the rhizomes stabbed him, take out a bottle of green liquid and sprinkle it. The contaminated rhizomes wither instantly. Because this is a bottle of herbicide, it's still not diluted. For plant monsters with strong absorption capacity, herbicides are his nemesis. As the rhizomes gradually shrink, the plant monster body fell to the ground with a snap. He looked at the two of them trembling. Professor Who kept beeping. What does he mean? It looks like Dudu has given in. You see, he gives up his own food. As if to say fruit for you. Don't hurt me. Li Chengying is still very cautious. This is a chemical creature. How can you judge his thoughts? But Luluo came forward and took the fruit. He doesn't know why. Maybe growing up with plants, he can feel the thought of the Dudu. And seeing Lulo accept the fruit, Dudu shook happily. Even lay on the ground to express his surrender to him. And by looking up close, Lulo made another astonishing discovery. The girl planted a packet of seeds, but it sprouted in the boy's long heart. Transplant it to the ground. It instantly grows into a large green plant. Just because the boy looks human, it's actually a piece of cake. He will feel his body being hollowed out by the drought of the soil. At this time, only a pack of gold carrots can be revived with full blood. It turns out that the dark sun comes to global alienation. Others become monsters. Li Chengying has become a piece of land. Not only did we lose all of humanity, the character was also hung up and beaten by a potato. Fortunately, Lulo's herbicide subdued the alienated potato Dudu. To survive, Dudu to the two, it shows a special substance called dark plastic. Li Chengying reaches out and touches. He felt the power within him. You can even understand the thoughts of plants. Dudu said that this is all due to dark plastic. He causes the alienation of living things. It also allows them to absorb the dark speed and become stronger. While speaking, a dark-sided monster launched a sneak attack. This time, Li Chengzi did not reply. Solved the monster with the second control. After absorbing the dark plastic, his ability to control the land has become stronger. Then if Dudu shares the dark plastic, can I coexist with Li Chengying? Looking at nervous Dudu, Li Chengying poked his petals. A potato is actually begging for mercy. This feeling is really weird. And finally, one potato for each person. Form a family of 3 and go together. Lulo is leading the way. Li Chengying is like a snail, slowly squirming forward. As land, he is immobile. It can only be slowly ground by soil accumulation. It's a grueling process. Fortunately, Luo found that this is a treasure trove of feng shui, suitable for building shelters. Li Chengying is going to start work, but noticed one. The dark plastic fell on Luo's shoulder. According to Dudu, there are dark shapes everywhere in the light. Humans are irradiated for a long time. It turns into a dark side monster. Li Chengying quickly picked up the dark speed. Remind Luo not to be too far away from himself. We made an appointment to live together in the end. Never let you become a monster like me. Luo's pretty face turned red. You have always been human in my eyes. The scent of love emitted by boys and girls. Let Dudu not understand. Li Luo also hurriedly checked the topic. He took out a packet of plant seeds. This is a common food. Crops in the apocalypse. Food is the most important. Li Chengying deeply agrees with this. Before taking control of the plot, try planting it on yourself first. With the injection of dark velocity, Li Chengying heard the call of the seeds. They want to grow, want to sprout. When Li Chengying opened his palm, the tiny seeds have sprouted green. Luo was surprised that it sprouted as soon as it was planted. Are you congenital farming Eucharist? Li Chengying thinks it's okay. As land, it makes sense for him to consume dark plastic to spawn plants. Dudu is also dancing excitedly. Can Li Chengying raise Dudu? Dudu also wants dark sculpture. Unless you obey my orders. Otherwise no talk. Dudu immediately lay obediently on the ground. As a human potato, he won Li Sung Young's reward by acting cute. Soon the shelter was built. Looking at the rows of freshly grown plants, a sense of pride. I am also 30 years ahead of schedule, living a reclusive life with a wife and children. But after the excitement, Li Chengying began to have a headache again. Although their own land can shelter humans, but to become a real human again, I'm afraid there is still a long way to go. When Li Chengying dreams alone, Dudu is here. Dudu, don't you like to be with your own kind? Dudu said he was worried about Li Chengying because there is a human breath around here.